Baby, when you held me in your arms so tight, you whispered that you loved me when we kissed goodnight. Your kiss made the difference, and then I knew, saving all my loving just for you. Yeah, saving all my loving just for you. Saving all my
Women weren't supposed to be that way. But I didn't know any better. I didn't know how I was supposed to be. So I just was the way that I wanted to be. And I did catch a lot of flack. I remember that when we went back to Oklahoma, we always started singing in church, and we went back to our church, and there were some whispers about, there she is, she sings those songs about men.
Lori Collins was raised on a dairy farm in Oklahoma where the main entertainment was singing with her musically minded family. Her mother, Hazel, was convinced her daughter had talent and took Lori to the Cimarron Ballroom in Tulsa, where she sang for Leon McAuliffe. The country star was so impressed with the young singer that he insisted she go to California to start auditioning.
We'd moved to California for Lori, basically, to be a singer. But in the meantime, I was back in the woodshed picking my guitar.
I would rehearse in one room and sing and play the guitar, and then Larry was in the other room, and I think it drove both of my parents crazy. And so finally my dad said, look, he said, why don't you two go in the bedroom and try and do this together? It would make it easier on everyone.
They dubbed themselves the Collins Kids and were almost immediately signed to appear on a weekly television show.
Hi, I'm Lori Collins, and I'm meeting my brother Larry on Ranch Party. Let's all go.
Come on along to the old ranch party, and we'll all have a wonderful time. Join in the song at the old ranch party. Leave all your troubles behind.
On with the show now with those two little bundles of bouncing T-double-N-T, Larry and Lori Collins. And hey, hey, hoy, hoy.
Well, I dreamed of heaven and it's something, my baby. Yeah, I dreamed of heaven and it's something, my baby. He had pretty white teeth and cold black girl I had. Let's ho and ho and ho, yeah, ho and ho, skip, now jump.
The Collins Kids were a very physical act, particularly Larry. He was like a little flea jumping all over the stage. He was just hilarious, and she was cute too. They were adorable.
Larry and I together have some kind of chemistry. I don't know what it is.
We walk on stage and all hell breaks loose.
We were pre-Elvis, Elvis even, called us and liked our music. He loved our beat.
Let's ho and ho and ho, yeah, ho and ho, skip, now jump.
A lot of people thought that was maybe too out there. We should stick more to Missouri Waltz and Go Away Don't Bother Me, these nice little country kiddie songs, and we didn't want to do that.
Things seemed to be heating up for the young stars. In 1955, the Collins Kids signed to Columbia during the reign of Mitch Miller.
And I don't know, that whether they were not made a priority or whether they were just considered to be a novelty or what, but it's clear it was not the label for them to be at.
And everybody smiled when they saw us. They thought we were cute and wonderful and talented to be as young as we were, but maybe they just didn't take us as seriously.
Another young musician who didn't feel he was taken seriously was Ricky Nelson. The teen star of his parents' TV show The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Ricky strongly identified with Lori.
Ricky Nelson was my first love, and I mean that from my heart. We invited him over to the house, and he actually came. It was like my heart almost. I couldn't believe it because every girl in the world, Ricky Nelson, but I tried not to act gaga. I tried to be mature. But I think in many ways too, since we were both in the same business, after the initial shock of Ricky Nelson, that we really enjoyed each other's company and we had a lot in common. because he really didn't have a lot of freedom. He couldn't really be a kid. We weren't really kids, so we spent a lot of time together, especially playing music.
Perhaps it was inevitable, but their real-life relationship soon became a TV relationship.
And just because your mama thinks you're hot, well, just because...
Almost inadvertently, Laurie and Ricky were becoming teen royalty in a culture crafted and marketed to appeal to American youth.
What's this mean? Does Ricky demand too much on his dates?
Isn't that off?
This is good. Well, does he? Or
No,
did
turn
he
the
or
page.
not? Okay.
Laurie and Ricky's storybook relationship ended abruptly when she eloped with Stu Carnell, Johnny Cash's manager.
To me, I think when I look back on it, it was kind of like breaking loose and, getting away from everybody that constantly was scrutinizing me, I thought. And I married an older man. He was almost 16 years older than I was. So I was excited. I was happy until reality set in and I realized what I had done to not only my mom and dad, but to Larry.
For my parents, the world had come to an end. And for myself as well. I remember ditching class, walking down from Hollywood and Vine, sitting on a back street by myself and just didn't understand the whole damn thing,
Was it a problem with the record company people?
Yes. Because I wasn't this little innocent girl anymore. I was a married woman. It was the most difficult time in my life, and when I look back on it, I would call my mom and dad, and they didn't want to talk to me, and Larry had to go out on his own and sing, and he was bitter and had every right to be, because, in his mind, I just deserted him.
For a time, we didn't work together, and the responsibility fell to me to keep, the Collins family eating and a roof over our head, and so it became Larry Collins going down the road with his dad.
So what was really the problem? Could you not play with Larry at that time?
Well, I couldn't because of the strong feeling they had against my husband. Everybody hated him. Time
helps, and eventually the family grew.
Our career changed, definitely, we were really no longer recording. We kind of got involved in Las Vegas and worked there 22, 23 weeks a year. Then, of course, Reno and Lake Tahoe. There wasn't a lot of TV shows, and, we'd grown up, gotten older, and so it just changed our whole career, I think. And I really, truly attribute a lot of it to my marriage.
Direct from Ranch Party to Viva Las Vegas here tonight, Rockabilly legends Larry and Laurie, the Collins kids now. Let's bring them on now. Let's hear it now.
Well, he's my rock-bumping baby. You ought to see him shaking. Rock-bumping baby's got tricks. Oh, you ought to see him rock. Don't move it and stop. But he rocks all over the place. He ain't short. He ain't tall. He's just about right. Well, he's my rock-bumping baby. I don't mean late. We'll do it up right tonight. We'll do it up right tonight. We'll do it up right tonight.